This is not purely informational material, as there are recommended products in which the producing companies of such are affiliated with the content creator that produce this content through distribution systems and affiliate marketing. Naturally, there is financial interest involved in it. However, please be advised that if you do not wish to be influenced by way of recommendation, then do not continue watching thereon. This video was created on the basis that explanation is pertinent to understanding how electrolyzed reduced water is created, so that naturally the knowing of why it is beneficial comes easier. If one knows the facts of electrolysis, then all the noise of slander and smear campaigns made against electrolyzed reduced water, the device that produces it, and the beneficial effects it has, can be seen as just that, slander and smear campaigns. How is deuterium depleted from water? According to Gabor Somlai on page 62 in his book titled Defeating Cancer, The Biological Effect of Deuterium Depletion, deuterium in water is depleted by way of water electrolysis. Further, according to a text called Radiochemistry and Nuclear Chemistry, written by Professor Gregory Chopin, Jan Olav Lil-Jensen, and Jan Rydberg. On page 33, deuterium is also mentioned to be depleted by electrolysis. Now, during the process of electrolysis, molecular hydrogen is also created at the negative electrode called the cathode. Certain machinery, technology, and devices have been created in such a way that when water is electrolyzed and molecular hydrogen is subsequently created, it is able to be saturated into the water it was electrolyzed in. Thus, the benefits of the gaseous molecular hydrogen can be made available for consumption. That is, of course, if the respective electrolytic cell machinery is designed in such a way whereby the other byproducts that are created, which are gaseous oxygen, are separated. This is done by separators, along with other design modifications of the electrolytic cell, which allow for a clean separation of the gases created, so that consumption of hydrogen-rich water is optimized. Evidently, the finer detailed information on electrochemistry is not specifically necessary in order for the viewer to grasp the central principle of how electrolysis works and the byproducts of it, as an individual would not be engineering an electrochemical device nor need to become an electrochemist. To continue on, however, we will further unravel, investigate, and present information on the benefits of electrolyzed reduced water, molecular hydrogen, and deuterium depletion. There are certain figures, that is, individuals, that will inform you that an ORP reading is not a measurement of the presence of hydrogen gas / molecular hydrogen. However, as indicated here by Jan Slezak and Branislav Kura, it has been conclusively determined that, quote, hydrogen gas is the exclusive agent responsible for both the negative ORP and the therapeutic effects observed with ERW. This is an excerpt from the book Molecular Hydrogen in Health and Disease, written by the aforementioned Professor Jan Slezak and Dr. Branislav Kura, pages 36 to 37. Let's see what some of the measurements of negative ORP readings of Kangen water have been.
Guys, here's that hydrogen bottle that Gary Brecka and Dr. Andrew Huberman have been raving about. Let's see if it actually works.
ગુલાબી કેનું થયું જેટલું વધારે એન્ટીઓક્સિડન્ટ હોય એટલું ગુલાબી થતું જાય છે તો કહેવાનો મતલબ મારો મેં આ જોયા પછી લોકો તરત કહે કે ડૉક્ટર કેમ કે આ દવા 3 દી લેવી આ દવા 5 દી લેવી હું કહું આનો કોઈ સાઈડ ઇફેક્ટ નથી પેલો ઘૂંટડો લઈએ એટલે ફાયદો જ કરે આ પેલું કયું છે કિનલેનું પાણી છે ટીપાએ છે ને પાણીએ છે છતાંય ગુલાબી નથી એટલે આપણા શરીર માટે કેવું છે સફેદ એટલે કેવું છે હાનિકારક હું કહું પેલો ઘૂંટડો જ લઈએ આપણે એટલે કેવું થઈ ગયું આપણે ફાયદાકારક. સેમ વસ્તુ આ જે ઘરનું પાણી છે, પેલો ઘૂંટડો લઈએ અને આ કેટલી હદનું ખરાબ છે કે આને ખાલી હું અડધી ચમચી નાખું આમાં બધેમાં,
reduced water has an abundance of active hydrogen, as indicated by the ORP measurement device. A negative reading indicates the presence of hydrogen. These few slides are recommended texts to learn more about molecular hydrogen and its benefits on the human body.
સ્કૂલમાં જે લિટમસ પેપર ભણ્યા હોય ને છોકરાઓ આવે લાલ હોય ને બ્લુ કરે હોય ને ગુલાબો કરે, લાલ હોય બ્લુ હોય, એવું પીએચ છે 1 થી 14 સુધી હોય. 7 એટલે ન્યુટ્રલ કહેવાય, બેલેન્સ, સંતુલન.
Oh, and let's not forget, deuterium depletion is an area of study and focus in which a bulk of medical and scientific professionals have a large, dedicated body of work, independently and collectively available on the topic. As mentioned earlier in the video, deuterium is depleted as a byproduct of electrolysis. These individuals and websites are a great repository of researchable sources to further your study and understanding of deuterium depletion and its benefit on the human body. What happens when the process of electrolysis is reversed? Well, this was a question that sparked the curiosity of Sir William Robert Grove. In 1839, Sir Grove was experimenting with batteries and the electrolytic process when he came up with the idea of reversing the process to generate electricity. Electrolysis uses electricity to separate hydrogen atoms from oxygen atoms in water molecules. Grove's idea was to instead combine oxygen and hydrogen to produce electricity in water. With the use of platinum catalyst electrodes, needless to say, his efforts were successful. This research was fundamental to understanding the principles of the operation of a fuel cell. Following is some brief information on fuel cells.
સૌથી પહેલા શું લીધું? સોડા. 7 થી નીચે એટલે તમામ એસિડિક ને શરીરને ખરાબ કરે. આપણા ઘરનું પાણી કેવાતા સારા પાણી ગામના, માર્કેટના. અને જેટલું આના પરથી જ એક નાનકડું લઈ લો. હું કહું ને, આપણે શરીરને આપીએ જ એસિડ છીએ, પછી આપણે એમ થાય કે એસિડિટી કેમ થાય છે. આ નાનકડું અમે પાણીથી જ શરૂઆત કરી. જો આ આપણા ઘરનું પાણી, આપણે ચાલો આને લઈ લઈએ સાઈડમાં, કેવાતા સારા પાણીને લઈએ. આને હું લઉં છું, આ કેવું હતું? આ હજી એક ગ્લાસ આપો. આને પણ લઈ લઉં હું. આને પાછા એ ટીપા નાખું છું જે પેલા નાખ્યા હતા. આ કેવું છે અત્યારે આપણા શરીર? આપણે માની લઈએ ગ્લાસ આપણું શરીર છે ને આ કેવું છે હમણાં? એસિડિક છે. આ ચાર્ટ આપણું પીએચ ચાર્ટ એસિડિક. 7 થી નીચે બધું એસિડિક. હું એમ કહું, આને લીધે આપણે એસિડિટી થઈ. એસિડિટી જે લોકોને થતી હોય એને ખ્યાલ હોય, આ પેન્ટોપ્રાઝોલ ટેબ્લેટ છે એસિડિટી માટેની ખૂબ જ જાણીતી ને પ્રખ્યાત દવા. આને હું લઈ લઉં અને આને એસિડિટી ઘણા બધા ડબલોનું મૂળ છે.
Fortunately, there is a way you can create high-quality deuterium-depleted molecular hydrogen-infused water from the comfort of your own home. You only have to get a water ionizer machine, however, not just any water ionizer machine. The water ionizer machines offered by a specific company called Enagic are Japanese medical graded. The company allows for consumers to access and gain distribution rights of certain products.
Why shouldn't they drink Kangen water? You need the electrons in your body. You can drink alkaline water, and the water stays alkaline, but because it passes through your body doesn't mean that your body is going to become alkaline. Only the electrons have the power to make your body alkaline. That's why fruits and vegetables and things of that nature that have an abundance of electrons in them are called antioxidants, or antioxidizing fruits and vegetables and food. It's because the presence of electron is there. But electrons leave. Once they leave their source, all the electrons are stripped from whatever it is, whether it's the water that you drink or the fruits that you eat and you make a smoothie and whatnot. All of them are gone within 48 hours once they are exposed to oxygen or once they leave its source. So you need a machine, because you cannot buy Kangen water in bottles. You can't buy it at stores or whatnot. It takes anywhere up to from 3 to 6 months for bottles of Evian or Fiji and whatnot to hit the shelves. 48 hours for all the electrons to be gone from water, and it takes 3 to 6 months for your bottled water to reach the shelf. And you do the math. You need the electrons. The electrons are the key to reversing your age, to maintaining health in every sense of the word. And nothing, no illness, no disease can survive in an alkaline environment. But you're not going to get it with drinking alkaline water alone, because you can take radioactive water or poisoned water that's been poisoned with chemicals, and you can make it alkaline by simply adding sodium bicarbonate, which we like to call Arm & Hammer baking soda. But I dare you to drink it. So do yourself a favor, get yourself a Kangen water machine and start making the change. Change your water, change your life. That's what Kangen and the Magic like to say. And I'm an end user, I'm not a distributor. And I can tell you that it's changed my life, and it has helped me to change the life of thousands of people around the world as I've traveled, speaking about not only manifestation, but meditation, age reversal, and health in general. So, all the best to you.
So why Kangen and not its competitors?
I've tried its runner-up, the Athena machine. I tried it for 3 months, and it did nothing for me. It did nothing for me. They're not the same machines. There's a reason why they cost less. You know, a Chrysler 300 is not a Rolls Royce, no matter how much it looks like one. So this is your health you're talking about. This is not luxury, this is health. And once you lose it, you can't really get it back. At least not in the sense that we know. Once your transmission is gone, your car's never the same. So treat your body right. If you cannot afford a Kangen water machine, if you cannot do what it takes to afford health, then perhaps you don't deserve it. So ask yourself that question. You're willing to spend $30,000, $40,000 and more on luxury, like vehicles, hundreds of thousands of dollars on houses and whatnot, but at the end of the day, you can't enjoy a single one of them if you don't have health. So if you cannot afford a couple $1,000s for a machine that will last you 40 years plus, then ask yourself where your priorities are, and I invite you to reconsider.
Out some electronic terms. Everyone knows the term pH, but few of us really understand what it really means. pH stands for potential hydrogen, and basically it's a measure of voltage. For example, a pH of 0 is considered a plus 400 millivolts. A pH of 7 is 0 millivolts, and a pH of 14 is a minus 400 millivolts. So when we talk about their pH being acidic, we're talking about the solution being deficient in electrons or an electron stealer. And when we're talking about alkaline, we're talking about the solution having electrons available to do work. So there is voltage available. Now this is one of the most important parts of the concept, and that has to do with the fact that every cell in the body is designed to run at approximately 20 millivolts. So a cell is doing its job and needs to have some repair work done. It'll kick its voltage up to approximately minus 50 millivolts. At 50 millivolts, the cell has enough horsepower to begin the process of healing itself. So putting in electrons to push the voltage back up is key to healing all chronic disease. Well, if we think about voltage in our homes, we always think about plus voltage. For example, we talk about having 110 volts coming into our home, and we never think about negative voltage. So positive voltage is what we're generally talking about in a conductive system like a copper wire. However, if we talk about solutions, then we can talk about there being an excess of electrons or an electron donor, and that is from 7 to 14, which means you have a minus sign in front of it indicating that there are electrons available to do work. We can also call that alkaline. On the other hand, If we have a solution that has a deficiency of electrons and has become an electron stealer, then we put a plus sign in front of it, and so anything from 0 to 7 is looking for electrons or trying to steal electrons from wherever they can find them, and that's also called acidic.
Sexy soul. So I just want to show you why Kangen machines are so special and what sets them apart from other ionizers in the market. So as you can see right now, this is a K8. Right there's the screen, this is the components. Right here is the titanium plate, and right there is the motherboard. What makes the Kangen machine so special is the size and the quality of the titanium plates right there. Because if you look at other ionizers, they're going to be using smaller titanium plates, and as you can see, this titanium plates basically take up the whole inside of the machine. So before you get an ionizer, just take a look at the titanium plates, because that's the most important thing of a water ionizer, nothing else. Oh, and here you go. This is Kangen's machine, titanium plates, and this is the other titanium plates that the other machines use it. So don't be fooled, guys.
Individual machine gets tested for the pH. It's just come off of this line where it was tested for voltage. Every single device gets checked on the pH scale, how he can operate the flow of water. He needs to get it down to 2.7. Every single one is calibrated. They're brought over under here. We're calibrating each individual device. So you've never had a Kangen water device that's not been thorough.
The water passes over the plates. The minerals in the water are separated into two streams of water, one alkaline and one acidic. The more plate surface area and the more power you can apply to the plates, the better the separation and the better the quality of the ionized water. Some metals are better electrical conductors than others, and some hold up to the abuse of electrolysis. While some manufacturers use stainless steel or white gold because they are less expensive, the most reputable companies use titanium and platinum. Titanium is used because it is a very dense metal and is a great conductor of electricity. Platinum is a great durable conductor of electricity, and it's applied on top of the titanium to keep the titanium from breaking down in water during electrolysis. Enagic's SD501 water ionizer has the ability to utilize the highest wattage in the industry. Everyone knows that if you want a brighter light, you use a higher wattage light bulb. With ionizers, the higher the wattage, the more it.
Once your tap water has been cleaned of contaminants by your pre-filter, it then enters your top-of-the-line water ionizer, your Kangen machine. Upon entry, the water gets filtered again for any excess chlorine, rust, or sediment, and then moves through the electrolysis chamber. As the water passes over the platinum-coated titanium plates, the electrical charge separates the H2O into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas, creating two streams of water. One is alkaline water, and the other is acidic water. Positively charged hydrogen ions and positively charged minerals such as sodium, calcium, magnesium, and potassium are drawn toward the cathode, the negatively charged electrode plates. Essentially, at the cathode, water is reduced to hydrogen gas and hydroxide ions, producing antioxidant, alkalized water rich in molecular hydrogen, while the negatively charged hydroxide ions OH negative, and negatively charged minerals in the water such as carbonate and sulfate are drawn toward the positively charged electrode plates, the anode, producing acidic water and molecular oxygen. Essentially, at the anode, water is oxidized to oxygen gas and hydrogen ions.